Today, though, it was a protest of a different stakeholder, and it is called Operation Dudula. These are people that have made it their business to say South Africa has had enough of the people that come to this country illegally, and they are a drainer on the resources. And so let's quickly have a conversation with the brigadier in the South African Police Service, Athlenda Mathe, and I see her signaling with her hand. I wonder who she is seeing. I do see that it is your boss, but you are here, so you are going to have to take this particular interview. Good evening to you. How has the day gone? Let's start there.
Well, a very good evening, and thank you for the opportunity. So far, everything is going according to plan. We haven't had any major hiccups. Our security measures are in place to ensure that this event takes place in a safe and secure environment. So far we are happy. Our operational plan is unfolding accordingly.
The protests that did take place today, tell us about the police response to that, and were arrests made?
Well, in the run-up to the event, we developed what we call a protest mitigation plan. So we effected that particular plan and we implemented it. So you'll recall that we had identified 4 speakers' corners where all these interest groups can actually go and air their grievances and so on. But with this particular protest, it turned unruly because the group, the Dudula members, were actually forcefully marching towards the venue. And in doing so, they were then attempting to blockade the Bara and Nasrec road, which is a key route which is utilized by the heads of state, the dignitaries, to actually access this particular venue. Yeah. So we have arrested 2 of them, a 48-year-old man and a 54-year-old man as well. We have charged them with public violence, assaulting of a police officer, because during the scuffle, when they were resisting to go back to the speaker's corner, they were throwing objects, they even pepper sprayed police officers and so on. So we had actually 1 police officer that was then taken to hospital for further medical care.
Can I just ask what the key grievances that they wanted to put forward were?
Well, it's the everyday issues on the illegal foreign nationals in the country. But you will recall that there is a court order that was handed down to them that bars them from intimidating and harassing your foreign nationals and so on. So the 3rd charge against them today is contravention of that very court order, because in attempting to blockade the road that actually leads here, it means you are harassing, you are intimidating the foreign national heads of state that are here, and the foreign national dignitaries that are attending this particular event.
And my understanding is that Dudula is saying that they will come back tomorrow. Are you expecting more of this tomorrow?
Well, if they do come back, they should protest within the confines of the law. We do not have a problem with people that protest within the confines of the law. Actually, we had many other groups. We had members of the judiciary, they called themselves that were also outside. They were very peaceful. We had the women that were wearing black in support of GBVF-related issues and so on. They did so within the confines of the law. But what we are not going to tolerate is the lawlessness, barricading of roads, and the attempt to disrupt the G20 Leaders Summit.
Talking about the G20 Leaders Summit, from a security point of view, has everything gone according to plan? Never, well, it's not never, but I think the only other event that brought in so many heads of state would have been the funeral of late President Nelson Mandela. This would have been back in 2013. How has this gone? Has it been easy, difficult?
Well, I wouldn't say easy, but it's been smooth running. I mean, you look at the track record of the NAT joints. We have managed to host your 2010 World Cup, the Brig Summit, the funeral of the former heads of state, and all these events took place in a safe, secure, and peaceful environment. So that's why we were quite confident that the uncompromising security measures that we have put in place with this particular event will ensure that, this event is secured. So we are quite happy. Everything is going according to plan. We are working closely with other stakeholders, other law enforcement agencies, your JMPD, your EMPD, just to ensure that we secure this particular event. But also the cooperation from ordinary South Africans is also overwhelming. In the true spirit of Ubuntu, really, South Africans have welcomed our international visitors with the warmth that they deserve.
Can I ask you about tomorrow? Because we are only halfway through. You got all the world leaders in. They will all obviously tonight be making their way back to their respective lodgings. Tomorrow they'll be back here, and then when this summit wraps up, they will be taking off. How much of a challenge is that operation? You know, the operation of departure must also be a pretty significant policing challenge.
No, obviously there's a lot of planning and coordination that has, you know, obviously come for this in this particular event and so on. So it's not much of a challenge because there's a lot of planning, there's a lot of effort to ensure that everything runs smoothly. So we are not worried at all because we are quite prepared.
All right, Athlenda Mathe, thank you very much. Brigadier Athlenda Mathe.